good morning. Welcome to our Ag Market Network Weekly Market Report. This is brought to you by FiberMax and Stoneville Seed. I'm Pat McClatchy. We are doing our report this Thursday morning. Of course, the government is shut down, so we don't have our export sales to look at, which we typically look at as it's coming out. But we do think it's important to talk about what's going on in the market and what's possible under certain scenarios looking forward. We do have this morning coming out jobless claims. It's probably the only number that does come out, unemployment and jobless claims. But with no government, we have no government reports. Let's just take a look at what the possibilities are looking forward and start with cotton. Over the last week, March cotton is traded between 72.75 as a low and 74.66 as a high. And it is thought that for now, as things exist today, government shutdown, no trade agreement, that our trading range for the market could stay in the range of a low of 72, March cotton, and a high of 74.50. That's what we're probably worth for now. But the question is, looking forward, what happens if things change? What happens if the government reopens, which we know it eventually will, and what happens if we have a trade agreement? What will the market do? Now, I'm basing this off of what many analysts are saying, not all analysts, is possible. So just keep that in mind. And let's say we do reopen the government. Well, when we reopen the government, we'll start being able to catch up and see the export sales that have taken place in grain and cotton. And what we think is it will show good sales, and the market should, I think all markets should bounce and move higher off of the government reopening. And as the numbers are being seen on these export sales in cotton, for instance, you could see the market move even higher. So reopen the government. What is it worth to the upside for March cotton? It's trading at 73.65. Could move up into the area of 76.50 to 77 off of that, the reopening the government and seeing export sales. Along with that, the December will move up too. And for farmers that have got cotton to sell that have not sold it, they certainly want to be looking at that as an opportunity on a bounce to be able to move cotton. Also, it needs to be discussed or thought about new crop cotton. If new crop cotton can rally enough off these changes in the future, you might want to be taking a look at doing some pricing or hedging there. What happens if we have a trade agreement? Well, with the trade agreement, it can move higher. And we feel like it could move into the area of the low 80s, even to the mid 80s. Now, listen, you're going to get all kinds of opinions about this. It's just analysts that I follow. I think this is what I believe could happen. If we reopen the government, we see good export sales. We eventually, over the next couple of months, hopefully, can get the trade agreement signed. We think it will be very good for agriculture. We don't think there's any disagreements over that between the U.S. and China, and that we can move up into that area. And certainly, you want to be using that as an opportunity to look at pricing the following year's crop. What happens as far as soybeans, corn, and wheat go? Well, it's the same story. The market needs to be reopened. We need to see good export sales showing up that we have not been able to see, and then we need to get the trade agreement signed. As far as how high March soybeans that are trading at 9.13 could go, it's possible that market can move up into the area of 9.60 to 9.70, and with the trade agreement, it can move up into the area of 10.20 to 10.40. Corn, how high could it go if we reopen the government? In March, corn right now is at 378.5. It can move up into the 390 level, 395. What happens if we get a trade agreement there? That market could move up into for old crop corn, can move up into the 420 level. Wheat right now in March is trading 525.5. It can move into reopening the government, 545 maybe, 550. But if you get a trade agreement there, it can move up in the area of 575 or maybe even higher. So, but for now, our hands are tied. The markets are trapped within a range, moving up and down, somewhat unpredictable. They do get some direction from the stock market, which is also unpredictable. So for now, we'll just continue to watch the market, look for changes when we see the government reopening, and we will report on that and exports as that does happen. So that's it for the day. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the Ag Market Network Weekly Market Report that's brought to you by FiberMax and Stoneville Seed. We'll see you later.